Hello everybody, Redhead Boo here. So you know what that means, it's Friday, so today is my upload day. Sorry that I didn't film a video last week on Friday. I went out so I couldn't film, unfortunately. So I'm gonna carry on my series of ranking different scenarios, different things. So last week I ranked my top 10 Little Mix tracks from their latest album Confetti, and if you haven't guessed already, this one is going to be a Disney slash Pixar video, and I just wanted to show off these ears because I don't think I've shown them yet on my channel and I absolutely adore them. And yeah, I'm just going to get started. So this video is going to be me ranking my top 10 Disney and Pixar films. So there's some live action in there, animated classic Disney, Pixar, yeah. So I'm just going to get started, and yeah, it was quite hard to choose because there are loads of films that I absolutely adore, but these 10 are just iconic. Like, they range from like my childhood to recent Disney as well. So yeah, hope you all enjoy this video. So at number 10 is the animated classic Cinderella. Ever since, well, I've probably told this story now so many times on this channel, but ever since I was a small child I was obsessed with Cinderella. I wanted to be her, I had all of the merch, and the film is just, it makes me so happy every time I watch it, and I feel like that's what watching a Disney movie should make you feel like. And I do think it's one of the best animated classic films because it's just so nostalgic for me as a kid to now, and I do love it. I love the songs, I love the characters, I just love everything about it, and it is coming up soon on my watching all of the animated classics challenge. I do still need to carry on with that because there are a few I haven't seen yet and I'm very excited too. So Cinderella is number 10. So in at number 9 is the first Pixar film of the list, and it's Monsters Inc. Now, as a child I sort of had like a love-hate relationship with this film because my wardrobe when I was a kid was quite similar to the doors in Monsters Inc. And I always used to think, like, what if a monster's there and it's going to come and try scare me in the middle of the night? But now I sort of know that it was just a film, and I absolutely love Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. Like, I should have put that one on the list as well, but it's just the characters, like Mike and Sully's friendship is the best. I love Randall, I love-hate Randall. Love Roz, I think that's the name, and Celia and Boo, of course. I've got to love Boo, and I think for me I just love it because Disney are just so clever with like the Easter eggs they put in their films. So if you don't know what this is, basically Easter eggs are like, so in a film franchise they'll reference other films from a company in like a subtle way, and every time it just makes me so happy to like notice it. So for example, in Toy Story 4, Billy Goat and Gruff, Bo Peep's sheep, find the grape soda pin from the film Up, and especially in Monsters Inc. Boo has plushes of toys of Jessie from Toy Story 2 and Toy Story, and Nemo from Finding Nemo, and she also has, I think, the Pixar ball as well. And it's just, Disney are just so clever, like they drop in small hints to other films, and if you're not a like mad Disney fan, you probably wouldn't notice it, but I always like to keep an eye out for the hidden Easter eggs, and I do love it when I find them, and then I tell people about it, and then they go back and watch, and then it's like, we found it too, thank you for letting us know. And it's just really cool. I love them, I absolutely love them, and Boo's just the cutest kid ever, and obviously Sully and Mike, and Mike is one of my favourite Pixar characters. I love Mike, and I ordered my Mike Wazowski Big Feet plush. I was gonna get him when I went to Disneyland Paris, but I don't know, I just found him online and I thought I can't wait that long, so I had to get him, and he's adorable, and I do think he's one of my favourite plushes. So I'll definitely do a plush collection at some point. I don't know when, but I definitely will do one, I promise. Okay, so Monsters Inc. was number 9. Great film. I absolutely love it now. Now I just love the film and it's great, so yeah. In at number 8 is, in my opinion, one of the best live action films ever released. Like, not the remakes, just like on its own thing. And it's Enchanted. I love that film so much. Like, it's so good. Amy Adams is brilliant as Giselle. Her singing voice, her acting style, her character, she's brilliant. I love her. And oh, she's just so good. And then Patrick Dempsey, I think it is, as Robert, who's the guy that she falls in love with, yeah, at the end. And it's just, Dina Menzel's in it as well. Peter Pettigrew from Harry Potter. But it's just like, the music in it is like, one of my favourite scenes is the start, and I just think I love it because like it starts off as animated, and then when she comes into the real world it's live action, and I just think it's so clever. I really do. And there is a big Easter egg in that film that I'll reveal in a minute, but one of my favourite scenes is with the song How Does She Know? How do you know? How does she know? I can't remember the name of the song, but it's How does she know you love her? It's like one of the best songs in my opinion. I love it. And I just love this scene because it's like your typical ensemble song. It just makes me want to like get up and sing along and dance. I just love it. Okay, so this hidden Easter egg that I was going to tell, I never noticed it before until I watched the film last weekend, I think it was, or was it the weekend before last, and we were watching it, and it's during the scene where she goes to Robert's work and she visits his work, and the receptionist is played by Jodie Benson, who voices Ariel in The Little Mermaid. And if you listen really carefully during that scene, they play the instrumental version of Part of Your World, because obviously Jodie Benson is Ariel. I just thought that was so clever. I was like, oh my god, because I knew I recognised it, and then I googled it and found that out, and my mind was blown. I was just like, oh my god, that is so clever. It was just, yeah, it was great. I love Enchanted. It is one of my all-time favourites. Wish I would have put it up further up the ranking now, but... And I am very excited about the sequel, because apparently we're getting a sequel, and yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Okay, so in at number 7 is probably... probably one of the cutest Pixar films of all time. Well, one of, because obviously there's another one which is definitely on the list as well. And it's Inside Out. It took me quite a while to watch this film actually, and I think my sister watched it first, and then she said, you need to watch this film, and I watched it, and honestly I loved it. It's so good. It's just adorable, and I loved the idea of all the emotions controlling Riley, and it is one of the most adorable, cutest films. It brings me so much joy, pun intended, and it's just like one of them, I think it's one of them films that whatever mood you're in, you can just watch it and everything is alright. Like, it's just so cute, and it's funny, it's just brilliant, and the characters in it are just so good. Like, I love it. I always will love it. And I just think it's one of the most underrated Pixar films. Because I think most people just associate like Toy Story and Cars and things like that with Pixar, but Inside Out is just brilliant, and one day I will go to Walt Disney World and I will meet joy and sadness. It will happen. Fingers crossed. Please. Please. Yeah, that film had to be on the list. Okay, so in at number 6 is, well, if you know me, you know my love for a certain character. So this film just had to make the list, and it's Lilo and Stitch. That film is honestly so cute. I can't describe the cuteness. Like, Stitch is just this cheeky experiment who was created by Captain Gantu, who's like the villain almost, but he's not really the villain. But it's just, it gets me every time. Like, it just makes me so happy. I mean, it's not a long film, I wish it was longer, but it's just the quotes in it and the relationship between Lilo and Nanu, I can't remember her name. And then there's Pleakley, obviously Stitch. It's just, oh, I love it. It took me quite a while to watch it, because obviously I knew who Stitch was, but I'd never seen the film, and then I bought before Disney Plus was even released, I bought the box set of Lilo and Stitch 2 Stitch Has a Glitch and Stitch the movie, and I literally watched them all within a day, and I became even more obsessed. And then I watched the Lilo and Stitch series, and then Leroy and Stitch, and I just, like, Lilo and Stitch, the first movie, is like one of the best. I loved it, and it's just adorable, and obviously the quote, which is now on my phone case, Ohana means family, family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. It's adorable. Yeah. And I love the music. I love Elvis Stitch, of course I do. I can't not love him. So yeah, that film just had to make it on because Stitch is one of the best Disney characters ever created. So yeah, that film had to make it. Okay, so now we are on to the top 5, and I've just thought of another film which I'm going to add in with number 4 because I cannot believe I didn't add it to the list, and I've been thinking about this film for a while and I need to see it again because I love it. So in at number 5 is, I'm gonna say it, the saddest, cutest, best Pixar films ever created, and it's Up. Okay, it's Up. Like, the first 2 minutes, or is it 10 minutes, I don't even know, the first 10 minutes of the film are the most saddest, but it's so cute. And I will always remember when I went to Disneyland Paris in 2017 with college, and as I walked in, Up music was playing, so that just literally put a big smile on my face. And then as soon as I looked at the castle, the emotional part started playing and I was a wreck. Of course I was, it's me. But Up is just one of them films that I will always have the cute, like, it's just so cute, and I'll always have so much happiness when watching it. And like, the characters, I think Russell's my favourite, and Doug. I love it. I love it. I don't have any other words when I love it, because it's just the cutest movie ever created. Russell's brilliant. Carl is brilliant. Obviously Ellie, like, it just breaks my heart, but in a good way, because I sort of see Carl Fredricksen in my granddad, because he lives on his own, and, well, he's not grumpy like Carl, but I just sort of relate to the film a bit. And yeah, it's just adorable. I love it. Okay, so moving on to number 4. Right, number 4 is one with where 2 films are in this position for me personally. And so the first one that I have actually written down on the list is another live action film. It's a live action remake, and if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you can probably guess what film I'm going to be talking about. And it's live action Aladdin. Don't get me wrong, I was very sceptical about this film when I heard that it was going to be redone as a live action film, because for me, some of the live actions can be better than the animated, or like some animated are better than live action. And I was like, I wasn't too keen on seeing it, but then I was like, you know what, I can go see it. I might end up falling in love with it, and it was amazing. I loved it, absolutely. I just fell in love with it, and I wasn't keen on the idea of like Will Smith as the genie, but honestly, he was brilliant. He was so funny. He made the genie just like really cool. I mean, Robin Williams will always be like the genie. He always will be, whatever happens. But Will Smith, oh, he was absolutely fantastic. Like, I can't say a bad word about it. And the thing that I loved the most was that Naomi Scott, who played Princess Jasmine, she did such a good job. I loved her in the film. She was just everything and more. Like, she didn't make Jasmine this like damsel in distress, this someone who constantly needed saving like most princess films or whatever, but she was just like so independent and really like sassy, and just she was everything I wanted and more. She was brilliant, and the fact that she got her own song and Speechless is a tune. The whole of the soundtrack is amazing. Like, I just loved it, and I loved Jafar. He's still one of my favourite villains of all time. Yeah, I loved live action Aladdin. It, yeah, it was better than the animated. I mean, I'll always love the animated version. I will always love it, but there was something about the live action which just blew me away. Like, the colours, just everything about it was brilliant. So yeah, loved it. And now we're moving on to the second film in fourth position, and I cannot believe I didn't write it down on the list, because it's one of the best princess films, and it's Tangled. Of course it is. It's Tangled. It's got the best soundtrack, the best characters. Like, Mother Gothel is a great villain. Flynn Rider or Eugene Fitzherbert is just, he's just perfection. He honestly is just perfection. Rapunzel, you've got to love her, and the fact that her sidekick is a chameleon. Like, yes, Disney, yes, thank you. Giving reptiles the credit they deserve. So, I mean, it did take me quite a while again to watch this film, and I remember I watched it, and the ending, I cried. Of course I did. Like, if you watch that film and don't cry, I just can't. It's one of the cutest films. The songs are just amazing songs. Like, I See the Light, When Will My Life Begin, Mother Knows Best, the best villain song. I'm putting it out there. And I've Got a Dream. It's so clever, and yeah. I don't have anything else to say about it other than Tangled has a special place in my heart. Always will. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because we're moving into my top 3. So, in at number 3 is the last Pixar film on the list. And it's from the Toy Story franchise. It's the best movie in the Toy Story franchise, in my opinion. And it's Toy Story 2. That film, for me, is just everything. Like, there are so many funny moments in it. Like, I love Rex in it. Like, Rex in Toy Story 2 is my favourite Rex. Slinky has brilliant moments, really does. Ham, Buzz, Woody, and Jessie, one of my favourite characters of all time. She, obviously at first, she's a bit annoying, but then obviously you hear her story with When She Loved Me playing, and that scene just breaks my heart every time, and I love Jessie. She's one of my favourite Pixar, well, she's my favourite Pixar character of all time. I just love her. I've dressed up for her for fancy dress days before, and yeah. Can't go wrong with Jessie. Just the whole film is just hilarious. And again, Disney are just super clever because they involve moments from like Jurassic Park where Rex chases the car to catch up with it. It's just so clever. And then there's the whole Star Wars one between Buzz and Zurg, and it's brilliant. Honestly, Toy Story 2 is just everything and more. Yeah. Okay, so in at number 2 is a film I always wanted to see, and I had to wait until Disney Plus released last year? Yeah, last year to watch it. And it's such a good film. Yeah, it's a goofy movie. If you've not seen this film, just take time out of your day and watch it, because honestly, it's brilliant. The songs in it are just class. I've got to say, On the Open Road is my favourite song from that film. It's just, like, I didn't really get the references to like Powerline until I watched the film, and then I was like, oh. And Goofy is like one of my favourite members of the Fab Five, other than Donald of course, but I just love Goofy, and now that I've met him, and hopefully will be meeting him in October because I miss him a lot, I'll be able to tell him it's my favourite film. And Max, because before then I'd only ever seen Max in the Mickey's Once Upon and Twice Upon a Christmas, and I'd never seen a Goofy movie, so I was like, I need to watch it to learn a bit more about Max. And yeah, it was just brilliant, and I'll always love it. So a Goofy movie had to be number 2. Okay, so in at number 1 is a film that I connected with on so many levels, and it's one of them films that I've seen so many times. I love all the songs, I love all of the characters. Yeah, it's just brilliant. And it's Frozen 2. And I'm putting it out there, Frozen 2 is so much better than the first Frozen film. It's just iconic. Like, I love the fact that every single character has their own standout song, and it's brilliant. Like, the characters in it, because in the first film I did like Anna, but I found her a bit annoying. But in this film, I fell in love with her, and I fell in love with Elsa all over again. Found a newfound love for Kristoff. Like, his song, Lost in the Woods, is the best song. That scene for me is one of the standout scenes from the whole film. And again, they reference Bohemian Rhapsody with Kristoff and 3 of the reindeers, and it's iconic. It really is, and I'll never not love it. Like, I just connected so much with the film, and I went to see it on release day. I cried so many times, and then went to see it again with my mum and sister, and yeah, I just haven't seen it in a long time, and yeah, I love it. I always will love it, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. So yeah, it had to be my number 1. So that was my top 10 video of my favourite Disney and Pixar films. I know there was 11, not 10, but I just had to include Tangled because it would have been bad of me to not include it. But I hope you all enjoyed. Next week I might do like my top 10 Harry Potter characters or something like that. If you're interested, please let me know, because, or maybe like my top 10 Disney characters, or I don't know, just, or maybe even my top 10 films of all time. It doesn't have to be Disney or Harry Potter. Just, or top 10 TV shows, or Netflix. Maybe Netflix TV shows and films. Who knows? But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on the bell and you'll be notified every time I post. And thank you all for watching. You've all been brilliant and made my lockdown so much easier. But anyway, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye everyone!